like it!
All right.
Whoa!
All right. Look here, right on target.
Yes!
All right,
Release!
man.
Look at that!
Oh, how much better is that?
One more time with feeling!
Yes!
The pattern of a mangrove forest is etched into the ground by 15,000 canisters.
Look at that! Now that's a forest!
Outstanding.
That's a forest!
Congratulations.
That is so
Great, huh?
better.
Good job. All right. Well, I think the vision is at least validated a little bit. We need a little more work, refinement. Feeling good inside, though. It's a success. It works.
The canisters are spaced an average of 150 centimeters apart. The minimum needed is 120.
I think we've learned some valuable lessons. Number one, to get the distribution you need the height.
If these mangroves take root, this 10-acre forest will ultimately clean over 6,000 kilos of carbon from the air every year. The seeds have all landed safely. But the team can do nothing to advance the final phase of the experiment. They must give the canisters the time to pass or fail the final exam. Will the propagules grow into mangroves or die?
These have to grow now. That's Mother Nature's job. Mark, is she going to do that work for us?
I believe it will in the great majority of cases where it's planted properly.
How long do you think we need to wait?
About 3 months. You know, it's going to take that long to tell whether you've really reestablished a mangrove.
I think it'll be worth coming back, don't you?
Tudo pode mudar em alguns segundos. Uma decisão tomada num instante pode salvar uma vida ou destruir um sonho. Em muito pouco tempo, pode-se perder o controlo, com consequências dramáticas. Chegaram os novos episódios de Destruído em Segundos. Às segundas-feiras às 22h10, só no Discovery.
Cortar, colocar y caer en la tentación de Snacking President, el primer queso que se come en rodajas.
Yo ahora tomo Actimel. ¿Sabes por qué? Llegas a la oficina, 19 grados. Sales a la calle, 33. Entras en el coche, 20.
En verano, los cambios bruscos de temperatura pueden debilitar tus defensas. Actimel actúa donde más lo necesitas porque llega activo al intestino donde está en el 70% de las defensas y ayuda a reforzarlas. Ayuda a tus defensas cada día con Actimel.
A mí me funciona.
The fight against global warming can be a lonely one. But a scientist, motivated by a powerful idea, is hard to stop.
We were just here 3 months ago on the first big drop, and we can see several of the propagule canisters on the ground here. We really can't know whether they've struck root or whether the propagule, the seed, is still in there or not. We're just going to have to get down and take a look. This area, logically, if we'd have gotten any success at all, this is where we should find it, I think. I'm not seeing anything sticking up out of these canisters. This is a sort of implant here that we would have expected, I would have expected maybe to see something. It's planted, it's in a wet zone, and yet, you know, it's clear. There's nothing growing out of this. There's nothing here.
The canisters have biodegraded perfectly. The seeds started to grow, but never took root.
The root started to come out, and it just didn't get anywhere. I don't know, it could be that the pH, the acidity is too low, or maybe it didn't drain properly and remained wet too long. We need to experiment a little more and understand what's going on here.
The propagules failed to take root. But Mark does have a delivery system that works, a simple and effective canister design, and he's shown large areas can be replanted quickly from the air.
Distribution of the canisters, the penetration of the canisters, this is all fine. It's just a few bugs to work out.
But it's not clear that a big push to perfect aerial reforestation is worth the huge effort and investment it would take, nor that replanting forests around the world would really help to slow down climate change. Basil is going to find out at the University of Victoria in Canada. Here, Professor Andrew Weaver uses powerful computers to model centuries of climate change in just a few hours. Dr. Weaver has shown that if we continue loading the atmosphere with CO2, global temperatures could increase by 3 degrees Celsius, and ice caps would melt. As a result, sea levels could rise a catastrophic 35 centimeters, all in the next 100 years.
This is not a very pleasant planet to be living on at this point. There'll be quite a number of species that have gone extinct.
Now can we look at a different model involving reforestation on a large scale?
The revised model takes into account reforestation across the globe.
What we found from our analysis of the potential for reforestation is that we were able to draw down about 130 gigatons of carbon. That number is a significant number. It represents about 1/3 of the total emissions that humans have given off to the atmosphere since industrialization.
That sounds great, but there's a catch. Carbon emissions are predicted to rise dramatically over the next 100 years. This would cancel out the positive effects of regrowing the world's forests. But if we can cut greenhouse gas emissions drastically, reforestation could put a dent in global warming, and much more. Mangrove reforestation would also help protect the world's coastlines against hurricanes and monsoonal storms. And most scientists agree that restoring all the Earth's forests would strengthen the planet's web of life.
A world without the Amazon, first of all, the life there, the rich variety of plants and animals would be gone. People are always discovering new drugs there, new solutions for some of our problems. And the beauty and the culture of all the people that live there would be destroyed. So there's many reasons to keep the trees.
If you carry out deforestation, that also has a major impact on loss of species and biodiversity. And that's something which we as a race can ill afford.
I think the key is to recognize that reforestation on a large scale is the right thing to do, and that we identify the appropriate technology, the appropriate tools in the right places. Whether that's planting manually or using propagules from aircraft like you have in the mangrove systems. So addressing deforestation and forest degradation is the single most important thing global society needs to come to terms with.
Many experts believe we must also come to grips with alternative solutions beyond cutting greenhouse gas emissions. Among them are geoengineering concepts. Their costs, risks, and potential